What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, once again, we are talking about boss, this time 1-2, and we'll talk about 1-3 tomorrow. I am aware that 1-4 actually opens up this evening. We're just a day behind on each one. Maybe I'll catch up tomorrow, we'll see. But I can only really get one video out today, so we're going to talk about 1-2. Now, one thing I want to make very apparent here, I think there's a misunderstanding as to when I'm building these teams. I'm not telling you guys these are the units you have to use. What I'm telling you is these are the tactics you can use to actually beat these events. The only reason I'm using the units that I'm using is because they are low enough level to represent what you probably will be able to pull off within the game. So when I'm showing you some of these units here, case in point, like my Line here, I really feel like Line is like the cornerstone. There's like 3 units that you can bet are going to be on just about every team here. Number 1, Line. And because she's max limit broken, don't worry about that. Yours can be like level 60 for all it matters. The whole goal is to get rid of her turn 1. So if you don't have the swap anklets, once again, like I said yesterday, you can just give her no weapon or no armaments or whatever and just kind of let her go. So long as she croaks turn 1 and gets off her her skill 2, that is perfect. That's exactly what you want. Okay. Now, you also notice that Haruhime is going to make an appearance on every video. The higher level you have Haruhime, the better, only because you do want her to survive. You do not want Haruhime to have any survivability problems. So she's the other staple unit you're going to see on just about every single team. Assist-wise, the only unit that's going to be consistently on every team is Finn, and that's because he does 33% SCH charge, plus he has a decent strength and magic buff, so he's going to be basically on every team you're going to see in these builds. Once again, as I said yesterday, if you do not have him, get him. He's really good. Now, the one thing I did kind of overlook yesterday when I was making the video on it, I actually realized I didn't need Artie for what we were doing. I have this Winter Haruhime. This is an older unit, but she still is. Why does she have no weapons or armor? Well, we're going to fix that. That means I got to check everybody now. So basically, what she's going to do is she's going to give everybody a 35% physical and magic resistance buff at the start of the turn, and she also is a backup healer, just like Artie was, except she's both a passive healer, meaning she does healing on counters. She's also an active healer, meaning she'll heal when she does turn 3, just like the other Haruhime. So she's going to be a very strong asset to our team. Now, the one thing I would recommend to you, if you do have this Haruhime maxed out like I do, make sure you use a low level armor on her. Like the armor that I'm using here really is like level 40, level 50, I think. No, that's her weapon. Level 50. And the reason I'm doing that is because basically with how much defense we're going to put up, she's not really going to take enough damage to do counters. So you really need to find a way to like basically utilize her to the best of your ability is what I'm kind of trying to say. So let's introduce the rest of the team. And remember, when I'm talking about this team, I'm not necessarily talking about the exact unit is what you have to use. I'm saying the tactic that I'm utilizing, you should be able to replicate on your teams. So we talked about Winter Haruhime. I'll give her weapons here at the end. Let's talk about this Eyes. Now, this Eyes is a fairly new unit, but I only have 2 bonds in her, which is a lie. I actually have 2 more bonds I can throw in her, but for the sake of doing the video, I'm going to do it with 2 bonds, and she's going to do just fine. She's a very solid unit. She's a good water unit. She does water resistance down, which is the #1 reason I'm using her, because we need to drop water resistance a little more. You do need AoE water units for this to be super effective, but if I'm honest, we're not at the stage yet with the EX missions where you have to have this specific element. Thankfully, if you've got like a really strong fire team, really strong light team, really strong whatever team, you can take this on no matter what. Just know you need an AoE team. You gotta have it, okay? So that's her main thing here. Other than that, she's gonna do all in single target debuffing, technically their defensive debuffing. So it's going to be really, really, really good. And this is going to be her big attack. She's going to use it all over the place. So she's very good. She's really here in more of a support role, but being that she's an AoE unit with water attack damage, she's also going to do an okay amount of damage. Not insane, because you know she never really buffs her water attack, but like I said, she's more in a support role, but she will do damage, because at this juncture, with as little damage as our main DPS is going to do, every little bit counts, okay? Now, like I said, our main DPS is going to be Lily. And the whole reason she's our DPS is because she has a water attack. She buffs her, says magic and water attack damage plus 30%. So she does a 30% water and magic damage buff. Notice that Eyes over here will also take advantage of that water buff, except she's physical, so she's just not going to get the physical side of that. But she will get a water buff from Lily. They're not going to do insane damage, but they're going to do okay damage. And Lily is another situation where, because I pulled her, I didn't pull her on our main banner, I pulled her like later on, I'd have to pay for her hero ascension. Actually, I'd take that back. I think she's old enough, maybe. I don't know. I think she's old enough she might predate Hero Ascension. I don't think so, though. I don't recollect. But either way, I'd have to pay Hero Life to put Hero Ascension in her, so I'm not going to do that. Now, I know you're eyeballing Yukina here, and let me explain. Now, Yukina is max limit broken, but the only reason we're really going to be using her, if I go down here, is her all targets 35% defensive debuff on the opponent. Basically, this is going to ensure that all targets hit much, much, much harder. I know we already have a unit on the team that does that, but this is going to make that even more effective. It's going to make it very effective, and everybody's going to have a really good time because of it. So that's the whole reason she's here. Now, let's talk about our assists, and then we'll get into armaments. Actually, let's do armaments first. Let's go ahead and cover Haruhime here. So I do want to give her Echoes of the East. That is her main weapon. So we're going to go ahead and swipe it from the other one. It is level 60. I do not have that one ascended. It doesn't really matter too much. We're not going to be doing crazy damage with it anyway. She's in more of a support role. Now, as far as armaments go, I don't believe there is any element or ailment on this team, but I do want to give her the most defenses possible. So I've given her this glorious anklet that actually has a really good... it's ascended pretty far. In fact, just to be on the safe side, I believe I should have some breastplates available. I do. So that's going to give her a little bit more guard rate. I have one level I could put into that, but whatever. Mistakes were made, I guess, at some point. So she's going to have a breastplate now. She's going to have a good guard rate, and she's going to be just fine for the duration of the event. Okay, Haruhime, basically the same way. She's got a swift armor that's only level 50, like I said before, just because if she doesn't take enough damage, she's not going to counter, so we need her to counter. This winter Haruhime is only +1, so she's going to take damage, she's going to counter either way. Per usual, both with Yukina and Line, they're using the revolving amulet, and that makes sure that they come in, do their job, and get out of the way. Okay? Notice she's using revolving amulet as well. Now, she doesn't have a weapon either, so let's go ahead and give her Desperate. And let me find her a breastplate. That looks good right there. Perfect. So they've got that. Lily, on the other hand, she's got the little ballista, which is her weapon, and she's got a breastplate as well, which is at 90%. So really, level 90, I'm sorry. So really, we've got the most defenses on these units because they need to stay alive. If they don't stay alive, well, we ain't going to succeed at this. Now, let's talk about assists. I'm going to start right up here at the front with the Haruhime assist. We have 3 Haruhimes on the team. Who would have known? But on this one, it's because we have all and single target plus 10%. Really, we only need all target, but she also does 5 MP heal per turn. And frankly, I already used the other one the other day. Why not use this one? Very simply put. So she's +2, so she's not going to have the greatest boost, but she's all good. Now, I see you eyeballing this AoE, AoE. ML Bead, wrong acronym, ML Bead Hestia. Now this Hestia is in the event exchange. She's completely free to play. She does water attack damage plus 10%, plus guard and counter rate 8%. She also does earth damage, but it's not really relevant to our team. We're going water, she's water. Now, here's a fun one. This Ina. Ina does strength and magic and counter rate and heal down 10%. Like I was using the Fiesta Hestia yesterday, this is like that, but level 60 instead. Now she'd be down 15% instead of 10% if she was max limit broken, but I only have her level 60 because, once again, I'm making this team for people that don't have max limit broken units, with the exception, obviously, when it comes to free to play, as we'll get to here in a moment. I think that's fair game once it's max limit broken. It is in the event exchange. You can get these units free to play. Okay, of course, Finn, we already talked about him. He's max limit broken, but that's just because he's really that good. That Finn, I would say, like, that is the first assist you should max limit break. Haruhime is the first adventure you should max limit break. And honestly, my Line is max limit broken. I don't even know why. She doesn't need it, but, you know, it's a thing. Now, tied to Yukina, we have Ina. Now, this Ina is water down 15%. That's it, but she's completely free to play, so we max the Burker, we put her on the team. Now, to be fair, and I should talk about stats, she has a decent magic stat, 372, but I don't believe anybody has a higher. So Finn's is 412, so he's going to be really good there. Let's see. Hestia's magic stat is 460, so she's really good there. So I really can't afford to put her anywhere else in the team because this one is 675. This Haruhime is over here, so we have 4 Haruhimes on the team. I was wrong, 3, 4. This does magic resist down 15%. I know we actually already had like a magic debuffer, but she's a little bit better, and she's not max limit broken. So that is our team. Pretty straightforward. Now, I do want to specify that the whole point of this team is we've got our plant killer, water DPS. That's what she's in the role for. We have the eyes over there. She is more in a support and debuffing role. We have the Winter Haruhime, who is in a healing and defensive buffing role. And we've got the OG Haruhime, who's in a debuffing and healing role. So that's the main reason for this team. And then obviously Line for the SA gauge charge and Yukina for the AoE buffing. That's really what we're doing here, okay? That is it. There's no more magic, no more mystery to it. That is kind of it. Now let me just double check something here because I just realized. Yeah, 356. So I realized, but I was looking at his magic stat, but she's a physical unit, so having 444 on her physical is going to be really good. So let's go ahead and jump in. So jumping into the fight here, there was an early mistake that I made when I was building this team. I put Line on the back here, you'll see, because I really need eyes in front of Lily. And the other thing to mention here is that they are buffed 10% to magic. So while I am kind of like working uphill, the problem is all of my plant killers on the water team are either max limit broken or magic and like +1/+2. So like I don't want to use those max limit broken units at least to create this video. So I'm using the Lily. I am aware she's at a bit of a deficit. I should have somebody on the team that debuffs magic a little more, but I really didn't have it in the build. Honestly, I probably could have taken out Yukina, but I think for what she's going to do for the AoE damage, it's going to be better in the long run just because it's going to let eyes get more damage out. So we're going to stick with this build. It's not the perfect build because you would want, you know, to build a physical team, whereas mine is a mix of physical and magic, and you do want to debuff physical a little more. Obviously, that's the perfect scenario, but, you know, this is a workable scenario. This is kind of a workaround. So just know that information right there. If you have physical water units that are plant killers, use them. 100% use them. So let me get into my team here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do a big defensive buff and debuff, and we're just going to soldier on like that. Now, the one thing I will tell you, odds are pretty good that Haruhime, both Haruhimes, aren't going to get very many counters like this. But we need this to keep, basically to keep Line alive. So, and you know what? I don't necessarily need to do that on this turn, but I got nothing else I can really do. So let's just go. Now with her, obviously we're going to do her skill 1. We're basically going to go skill 1, skill 2, skill 1, skill 2, skill 1, skill 2 with the random SA that we get, I believe, on turn 7, I think. We'll see when we get there. We're going for a triple SA once again. And of course, Spotlight with Line to get the 33% SA gauge charge. Pretty straightforward stuff. Alright. So you notice we're taking 0 damage at this point. And while that is good, it's not optimal. We really want Haruhime to do counters, and she won't do counters when she's taking 0 damage. So that is a bit of a problem. It's going to put Lily in a little bit of a bind, but she survived this. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Now, once again, like I said, we're going to do skill 2 with my water eyes, and then, of course, we're going to do skill 1 with Yukina. Now, in a perfect world, I think I probably could have done another magic water unit to debuff magic a little more, or replace Lily with a physical unit, like I said, that has Plant Killer. But the reality is, those units weren't going to be viable for what I intended to showcase with this team. I'm just trying to show you guys that level 60s can survive this with good team building. Okay, now we do have the debuffs on the plants. Their strength and magic is debuffed 40%, so we're good there. But you'll notice that everyone has 35%. Well, case in point, Eyes has the 35% physical and magic, I say defensive buff, but Lily does not. She just came in. She doesn't have that. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. We're going to do Snow Illusion with Winter Haruhime and buff that up. And I'm going to do skill 1 with Eyes and skill 3 with Lily, because really we're just going to spam skill 3 with her. It's just that simple with her. We're just going to spam skill 3. Okay? Here we go. And someone asked the other day why I do a triple SA and not a single with Haruhime earlier. And the answer is simply, I probably should, is the long and the short of it. We would get some more damage out, but you know what? We'll do it anyway, because that's going to give 100% strength to magic to everybody. So we're going to do it on this team. We only have the one plant killer, so it actually might work out. And then we'll do a double SA when we get that with... the reason we're going to do that is because the damage difference between a double and a triple is good, but I don't think enough to warrant like the 6 turns or whatever we're going to have to wait to do it. Maybe like 3 or 4 turns. Still, I think we're going to get more damage out this way than the other way around. But when it's a double SA, it actually is worth waiting the turn or two before you get that. So there's just a damage differential there. You got to just calculate and work around. Okay? Skill 3 again. Skill 3 with her. Or as I would say, skill 2 with Eyes again. Remember, with Eyes, we're just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So every even run, skill 2. Every odd run, skill 1. Makes sense. Except the SAs. The SAs are going to throw that off, but we'll get to that here in a moment. And we're really only going to SA with her once anyway. Everything else is going to be an SA with Lily. Okay? So now we have 100% strength and magic on everybody. So we should be doing some pretty respectable damage at this point. Let's see what Lily does here. She guarded, but she didn't counter. Oh, there we go. Actually, for a level 60, that was really good. 350k, that's really respectable. So we're going to do skill 3 with Haruhime, with both Haruhimes, in fact. Go back to skill 1 with Eyes, and just skill 3 again with Lily. Pretty straightforward stuff. There we go. Now, we will have an SA next turn, but we want to save it for a double. And I'll show you why here in a moment, but here we go. Nice. She's actually doing really respectable damage, so I really honestly think, in honesty on this team, actually Haruhime doing the early SA probably did pay off. We'll see what happens when we get to the actual SA, though. We'll talk about the damage differential. So you're back to skill 2 with her, and everyone else is skill 3. Let go. All right. Now, the nice part is if they do any kind of... See, notice they have a big strength buff here, and that's going to allow them to do some damage, but that strength buff will probably run out this turn. If not, it'll definitely run out next. Because that's the nice thing about Winter Haruhime, is she reduces the duration of that strength buff. So notice it just disappeared. Very nice. Lily's not in any danger. We're good to go. Let's go one more time. Pretty straightforward stuff. Like I said, this is a really easy, really straightforward battle. Level 60s will survive it if you do like a good amount of defensive and offensive work. Like I said, I got a 40% defensive debuff and a 35% offensive, or I say defensive buff. Offensive debuff and defensive buff. So we're pretty much good to go. We just got to get one more SA and we'll be golden. I say one more SA. One more turn and we'll get a double SA and we'll be golden. Now, this is kind of the turning point in the match. This is that weird spot where there's a high probability that doing a... well, simply put, we're going to do a double SA here. So here we go. Putting Finn on the backside would actually be more beneficial at this point. I believe after turn 7 or 8, I could be wrong in that, but I think mathematically after turn 7 or 8, it actually benefits to have Finn on the end. But to be fair, in this situation, his magic stat isn't as good as the magic stat I have on Lily. So we'd be doing less damage. We'd just be getting faster SAs. There's a balance to it. You just got to find it on your team. Okay? So, Eyes does water resist minus 50%, which means they're going to go from 60%, which is debuffed 35%, down to, 75%? So it's going to be significantly more. I do wish, once again, that I had more of a debuff on magic. Notice it's only down 5%. I could be doing better than that, but with 2 million health, you'll see here real quickly, they're going to go fast. Okay? Now, I am going to go ahead and do Sheikah and Snow Silver here. Snow Silver is going to do an all units MP buff. Notice that Haruhime is included in that. She has her self buff, and that's just basically to keep the OG Haruhime in MP. Okay, the other two are going to do an SA. There we go. So double SA. Let's see what kind of numbers we get out of these two. Not bad, not bad. Not preferable, but not bad for a unit that's only +2. Lily, on the other hand, why do I feel like her skill 3 does more damage than her skill 2? Or her SA, I should say. That's a little disgruntling. Yeah, her skill 3 does more damage than her SA. So realistically, I take that back. Make sure she's actually got all of her. She does have all of her buffs. Yeah. So realistically, if I was going to go back and redo that, I apologize. Spam SAs on Eyes. Don't use Lily's SA. Her SA is garbage. Use your skill 3 and let her go to town. For whatever reason, it's just a better attack. Who knew? I didn't. I never would have guessed that. But you know what? It's a thing. That's the only way we really learn. So, mental note, do a double SA with Haruhime and Ryu. I'm sorry, Eyes. She looked like Ryu in the new dress for a moment. Haruhime and Eyes double SA, and Lily just spam skill 3 if you're using this build out. Now remember, every unit's a little bit different. If you have a unit that is going to have a better SA than Lily's is, obviously this tactic will work better for you. But in this situation, we don't. So it won't. Here we go. Boom, boom. And hopefully these tactics make sense to you guys. Like, once again, I don't want to show you, like, how just here's a team, build it and go. What I want you to do is I want you to be able to take something away from this, learn, and go, that's how you build that team. Yep. It's about sharing the tactics, less about just sharing, here's how you auto battle and run it. I want to basically help you guys learn the team building aspect of this so you can be more successful going into the later matches, because we're going to get more EX matches, and who knows, maybe you pick up enough from these first couple that you're able to build the rest on your own. That would be great. If you are learning something, guys, let me know in the comments section and hit that little thumbs up button if you guys haven't already, because I won't say I'm perfect. I do make mistakes. There's probably a mistake in this run that I'm going to see after I upload it, but in fact, I realized I have not been toggling Ryu's attack, so that is the mistake that I have made that I just now realized. But it's not, like, grievous enough to make me go back and, like, redo everything. So I'm going to go ahead and buff it now. And let go. We get another SA with Eyes. Eyes is doing better than Lily did, so... Which is hilarious, because Lily is the plant killer. But her skill 3 is killing it. Like, no pun intended. Her skill 3 is absolutely... Thought her skill 3 was doing better than that. Did she lose her buff? Oh my goodness. No, her buff's still there. Very strange. Very, very strange. Oh, let's just... Sake of argument, sake of silliness. Let's just see what she does here solo. Remember, she's getting about 350 I wanted to say? 200k. I thought she was doing better than that. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that was a fluke. I thought I saw her doing better than that. So there's 4 digits right there. Maybe it was 30k and not 300. Maybe that was wishful thinking. Must have been. Let's see what she does here. Lily, what you got, girl? So there's 15K. It was too fast. I didn't see the decimal. Maybe. I don't know. Easy way to find out. We have 351,000 left in everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and essay with her and see. This should do the job, but we'll see. Let's go. And once again, I realized I didn't toggle eyes there. I probably should have toggled eyes this attack again. But, yeah, it is what it is. So turn 16, probably could have gotten a better kill out of him if I had done a little bit more maintenance on eyes. It is what it is. All right. Skill 3. Skill 2. Let's go. These two are just clinging to life. Can we do a single target with eyes? Yeah, let's try. Let's try a single target with eyes. Boom, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so turn 18 kill. Isn't so bad. If had I been a little more attentive to eyes, we probably could have ended it better. I'm going to have to go back and see the actual damage on Lily, but neither here nor there. Just be cognizant of the amount of damage you're doing. I didn't see whether that was 3 or it looked like it might have been 30k, not 300. I'm just used to seeing better numbers than that, but I do know this Lily is not the greatest. She doesn't get any percentage boosts. She didn't even have any water boost. We'll have to see, but either way, pretty much that's that, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments section. Go build a team similar to this. You don't have to build this exact team. Like I said, I've got the one DPS, which actually eyes turned out to be a better DPS. Who knew? And yeah, that's it. We got our A clear. We got our rewards. We're good to go. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. I'll catch you all in the next one.